thank you all for coming. I'm Rick Homans, the President and CEO of the Tampa Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. And we thought it was important on our return from Germany and Switzerland just to sit down and do a little informal briefing on the trip, give you guys a chance to ask any questions that you all have. So I'll start out with some comments, give a little overview, and then we can want to turn to the mayor and to Joe and to Dave. On April 12th on Edelweiss Airlines, we left for Germany and Switzerland to generate new opportunities, economic opportunities for Tampa and Hillsborough County. Mayor Buckhorn, the Oberbürgermeister of Tampa, as we learned that he is, they have a lot of ceremonial names for the mayors in Europe, but they don't give them as much power as they give them here. So I think you're happier with the authority, not the name.
Not the Lord Mayor title.
But Mayor Buckhorn led our delegation, included myself, as well as David Pizzo, our chairman, Joe Lopano, CEO of the airport, along with a couple of his staff, Chris Minner and Justin Meyer. Norma Henning, the Honorary Consul for the Federal Republic of Germany, Sherry Bailey from Tampa Bay and Company, Alex Botman from Enterprise Florida, and Lori Belovich, our Director of International Trade, who coordinated the trip. And from Saturday, April 13th through the 19th, the last Friday, we traveled to Munich, Nuremberg, Frankfurt, then back to Zurich, meeting with a number of different companies who were interested in expanding to the United States, specifically to Florida, and also with existing companies. As a result of our efforts, 8 companies have committed to visiting Tampa in the next 60 days on what we call a site visit. They'll meet with political, business, academic leaders, as well as look at real estate, investigate workforce availability, issues like that. The companies that we met with, German is obviously a strong hub for manufacturing. They make things in Germany. And we met with companies doing heat exchangers, radio frequency identification devices, aerospace components, cleaning equipment for the pharmaceutical industry, water recycling and fuel filtration systems, and software development. Some of the companies would start with a sales and distribution office here. Other ones would, and then move into assembly, manufacturing. Other ones are interested in getting right into the manufacturing side. We also have been working very closely over the last months with a German manufacturing operation that's looking to establish its U.S. headquarters here in Tampa, Hillsborough County. So we met with their CEO and head of legal and financial administration and continued those discussions. Another important part of this trip was to meet with some of our existing businesses here in the Tampa Bay region. And so we met with 4 companies that have a presence here, Ruag, Amotech, Key Trade, Zeppelin Systems USA, and UBS Financial Services. In each case, we met with their senior management, offered our assistance in their operations here and any future expansions that they might have. We also, in addition to supporting our relationship with Edelweiss by flying to Zurich and back on Edelweiss, we met with Edelweiss and with other airlines, and Joe will talk about that when he talks about the trip. Tampa Bay and Company also accompanied us on the trip. Sherry Bailey, Director of Tourism. And Germany is the 3rd highest visitor market for Tampa Bay, so it's a significant market for Tampa Bay and Company. She met with the largest tour operators in Germany while she was there, and they participated in our receptions that we had in Zurich and Munich and Frankfurt. Based on the feedback we've received as a result of the mission, I'm very pleased with our success. We've established some critical relationships, and when you're dealing internationally, those human relationships, personal relationships, are really key to their decision-making process, and we're confident this will lead to increased jobs and capital investment here in Tampa. None of this would have been possible, the level of success we had, if the mayor had not been with us at the head of the table, leading the delegation. This signaled a very strong commitment from the political leadership of the community, that they were behind these kind of operations, and so we were pleased to have the mayor there, and I'd like to ask him to make a few comments.
First of all, to Rick and to Lori and to the staff, thank you for such a great job. I mean, it was very, very well organized, very efficient use of our time. I mean, for me, from the macro level, I mean, if we are truly going to be the gateway to the world, then we've got to go plant Tampa's flag around the world. Business doesn't just come to you; you have to go get it, and you have to build those relationships. And it's a long process. It is a process based on that personal chemistry and a belief that when we go there, what we say that they can trust. And I think what we found was that obviously most Europeans and Germans in particular know Florida. They know it well. They vacation here. They have, in certainly recent years, acquired real estate here. But what is first and foremost in their mind is Miami and Orlando. And I think the fact that we are there telling Tampa's story to the world, talking about the economic advantages, talking about the competitive advantages, talking about the fact that in many cases that we are bilingual, that we offer a gateway to Central and South America. From an economic perspective, we are far more competitive than many of our competitors, and that it's a good decision to look at this community. And as we go and talk to these companies, we obviously highlight our strengths. We don't avoid our weaknesses, but we make the case, I think, very succinctly and very clearly that this is a great place to come and do business, particularly given the warm reception that, in this case, Germans have had in the Tampa Bay area. The fact that we are now the headquarters for the southeast region of the German-American Chamber, and have the Honorary Consul General as part of all of our discussions, really provided us with great currency. And I think it was a good trip. Obviously, the airport is a big part of that as we move to acquire direct flights. But there's also more to that. I mean, just the infrastructure that we have here, the critical mass that we have here, the clusters that we have here are compelling to some of the German companies. And I think over time we will see significant benefit from trips like this, as well as some of the others that we have taken, whether it's to Colombia or to Panama or to Israel. I think, we're telling Tampa's story. They saw Tampa during the RNC. We can't let that momentum languish, and we've got to go out and be as aggressive as we are domestically, because that just diversifies our economy. It strengthens us in situations like we've experienced over the last 5 years with the recession, and really broadens our business foundation. So I think it was a great trip. I'm ready to do more. We're going to be selective about how we do it. We're going to target countries where we have competitive advantages and strategic advantages. We're not going to waste any time or any resources on places where we don't think we can compete. And I think you're going to see more and more of this over the next 5 to 6 years as we go out and attract foreign direct investment. It's a great opportunity for us. I mean, we have so many assets here that are compelling to domestic or foreign investment, as well as obviously the tourism component of this, whether it's Busch Gardens, the beaches, and we pitch this as a Tampa Bay effort, not just as Tampa specifically. So I think it was a good trip, and I'm looking forward to meeting with them when they come here, which, virtually all of them said that they were looking forward to coming here.
Great. Thank you, Mayor. Joe?
Yeah, I would echo the mayor's sentiments about planting Tampa's flag. I think, I've seen this work in other cities. You have to go out and sell your city, and you have to be strategic about it, as the mayor says. But these kinds of trips are critical for the success of not only existing international flights, but for us to attract new international flights. And one of the things I want to make sure everyone's aware of is that the mayor is, of course, the mayor, but he's also a board member of the airport. And he has been an integral part of approving some of the more aggressive marketing efforts that we put in place that have now allowed us to grow internationally. And so not only from a policy standpoint has he made that happen, he's now going out on the road. And although he may be referred to as Lord Mayor overseas, when he's at the meeting, you tend to get a higher level of people to listen to you. So it's important to have people like the mayor embrace these ideas and go out and sell the city. And I think it was a great trip. I think he did a terrific job, as did Rick and everybody else. And I would echo the remarks about Lori. I mean, we had a bus that just constantly took us point to point to point to point, and we had meetings with people. It was really fascinating how much interconnectivity there is between us and Germany.
Thanks, Joe.
Great,
Dave.
thank you, Joe. I have to say, this was an excellent trip. I agree with the mayor and everyone. I did feel it was almost, we didn't take a train, but it was almost like planes, trains, automobiles, but it would have been planes, van, automobiles. It was great, and I think we were received very, very positively. It's very encouraging hearing about the significant interest from these foreign companies to either grow their businesses in the United States or start businesses in the United States, and particularly Tampa. I can't underestimate the value of the team approach that was mentioned earlier. I feel we really went out with our best foot forward, and it was just so impactful having the folks there, you know, like the mayor and Joe and the EDC staff, Enterprise Florida, our Honorary Consul there in full force. And I think some of these companies, we really wowed them. Many of them were mid-sized companies, and they're probably not used to a delegation like this coming out. I think what we're going to do, we had some receptions and meetings as well, aside from individual meetings with businesses. I think we're going to create a buzz for Tampa and Tampa Bay there based on this. And I believe it was very, very good, worthwhile investment by our part. And it's very critical if we're going to increase the presence of Tampa and Tampa Bay on the global stage that we do things like this. Again, for people that knew Tampa, a very positive impression. For those that didn't know Tampa so well, maybe they knew Orlando and South Florida, Miami a little bit more. I think it was very successful in introducing them to this notion that Tampa is really open for business, something you've heard the mayor say over and over again, and it is our time. Tampa's a top 20 market, has a business focus. We talked about education, workforce, real estate, and even the quality of life here. And I'd say we were very successful in communicating those things to the folks we met with. Overall, I think this was great opportunity to meet with many businesses. Rick talked about some that are going to be over here in the next 60 days. But most importantly, we shared good information, so we increased the knowledge of our area. We built relationships, trust, and I think confidence. And based on all that, I think we'll be having a lot more interactions and some positive outcomes out of this.